Oh, g'day guys. We're just going to pop up a preview for the Hobart Harness meeting on Friday night. We've got a 5 o'clock start, 8 races. Smallish fields, have to say I'm not overly keen. And I'm actually going out for the night, so I'll might have a few early bets and watch them afterwards. So I won't be around on Twitter during the actual races, but anyway, what I might do for a change is just do the best bets initially and then just run through the remaining races later, just quick snapshot of them. So anyway, so as far as best bets go, and as you know, I never want to throw out even money pops. So I've got Bet365 odds up here. As I said, I just find for the purpose of doing this type of thing, the black background a lot more noticeable, so even though most of us can't get on there. But I'm making a best bet in race 5 in the form of Mr. Lennox at 380. It's fair enough. Even if you look at that, 167 a place, you could back him 1 by 2 despite the 1-2 only, as I think he runs second at worst. First up, actually I might just go and grab the actual replay there of his past couple and show the actual logic behind the selection. Right, so here we are here. So he actually met Teresi when he was first up without a trial, and there wasn't too much between them at all. So that was
speed. They're all up.
This is in Hobart over the mile. He draws gate 3 in the Ricky Duggan's red helmet and the dark colours. So he's not blessed with brilliant gate speed, but he hold his own early. And have a look, Teresi trails him all the way here. And the race just works out dead perfect for Teresi and doesn't beat Mr. Lennox by far. As I said, he was first up without a trial. Obviously Mr. Lennox has a good run himself. So you can see the Death Horse went to the front, Mr. Lennox trailed him through, and Teresi's still got the cold set, and he's an exceptional miler, Teresi. This race is over 2,090, and Mr. Lennox is more a stayer. You can see there's probably almost gone as well as each other given the runs, and I just think over the 2090 it plays more into the wheelhouse of Mr. Lennox, so not too much between them there. And then last time in Launceston, it shows he ran 8th, beaten 24 metres, but we'll just have a look at that behind Scooter Will Rev. It's in a stand start.
Giving it some room. Max Richter's been...
So he draws outside the 10 metre in the white colours this time with the red helmet. You can see this horse here just dead set. So he misses the start like 70 or 80 metres. Actually, we'll just keep rolling. So he's finally tacked on and gone up the inside. Now we're talking Scooter Will Rev and some of the better horses in the state here. So he's 4 back the fence at the bell. So you can see, we'll watch it from here on. He's missed the start 70 or 80 metres prior to this point. If we just watch him, I think he's probably run second if gaps come behind Scooter Will Rev in this race. You can see obviously got nowhere to go, but you just watch his last 100 metres when finally gets some clear air. Like the red nose roll there. Probably third, not second. Up the inside there, so plenty of merit in that run given, obviously, as I pointed out, he lost a lot of ground early. And, he can definitely, we're not potting Teresi at all. I just think the price discrepancy is way too much, so they should be probably about 250 and evens, around that type of thing. So they're very happy to be on Mr. Lennox at 380. And Jack's Command's one who's still getting under punters' guards here. It's a fair bit of gate speed outside of him. Don't know if remember Joe will go forward or not, but if he leads, if he gets left alone, he's going to run over in 58, and he's a hard horse to get past. So maybe if you do back Mr. Lennox, just cover your outlay at the $8 on Jack's Command. So yeah, but very happy to be on there. And the other one that I'll be having something on is Spot 8. You can see $21 here. He's a dead set leader, but this is by far the easiest race he's struck in a while. He is one paced, so it's more the having a bet at the actual price. So, and it says in the form guide that his last run that he was first up at Devonport, and 8th of 10 at Devonport, beaten 30 metres. But we'll just go and have a look at the replay. Right, so Spot 8, so he draws inside the second row.
Winner $10.
He trails through and 3 back the inside. You can see that Pushkin in front of him here is just going nowhere. And he virtually untested the entire. So you can still 3 back the inside. So you get, dead set excuses here. Like he's very one paced. So, but I just think at the odds he's worth a gamble. So yeah, legit excuses there. Probably about half that price as his go, sort of $10 or $11. Definitely having a saver. I'm awesome. Demonstrative probably gets crossed from the pole, but even if he settles 3 back, that's his go in life. He's very quick over, like 200 or 300 metres. So if he's smoking his pipe on the pegs and the gaps come late, he's going to be ultra dangerous. War chest going okay. Go GG got a well-deserved win last time. Pretty honest. Pockets of Courage leads. Favourite CW Grant. Have a look at his form. First up, comes off, been trialling well. Last start third behind a couple of battlers in Harjeet and Usain Jolt. In a pretty moderate C3 to 4 here. But just trying to make this sound polite. Peter Dornoff just doesn't drive too often nowadays, so, and CW Grant sort of create a bit of an affinity with once Mark Yole jumped on, so unless there's a driver change, it's a bit of a concern if you're going to be taking the short odds. So happy to back Spot 8 each way and a small win saver on I Am Awesome at about the $6 mark. So I think happy with those 2 bets. So anyway, for the rest of the card, first race, Mr. Last, resuming, did beat a moderate lot at the trials. Definitely my first last campaign, I think he won a mile race in 157. Flashy Ruler did beat him at Devonport when he trailed him all the way and did him on the line, but still think Mr. Last's the best horse in the race. He did get scratched last week, which is a bit of concern if you're going to dive in, and I'm never one to take shorts from the second row. Keep playing. Price does look okay, but past couple have been pretty plain. Diego Rules did improve at its last trial. Lemon Drop Kid was just fair first up in Tassie, so Shaw's last hand had excuses, but if he's right, he wins. I think Mr. Last, but whether you want to, I said if he's right, you don't want to be taking $2.40 with the word when the word if is involved. So the third tricky race is a fair bit of gate speed off the front. Give Me the Night looked a very good run first up in Tasmania. It was pretty stiff not to finish a lot closer, but they did stagger home, so may have been a little flattered. Mad About the Chase was very good the other day. 3 deep the trip in a mile race. Stuck on okay. If you manage to cross, comes right into calculations. So Connie Germain's been good in both runs since a long break. Miracle Marcus was just huge last week. Death seeding in a 156 mile. If the pole horse holds up, he sits leaders back. But as I said last week, he's never one to take shorts about, even though it's probably why you'd also be loath to take that price. The pole, if he does lead, he's going to have Miracle Marcus being able to sprint lane him. So, couple here on full tilt, just bolted in Hobart over in a CO to C1 race, I think it was. But good sit sprinter, might be good speed. Did a lot of work in a junior drivers race last time, but I think $21, silly price. And the other one, he's the one. Like he's into what is this race? A C2 to 3, race 3. C1 to 2. And if you ever look through his form, like he was in a C3 to 5 last week, and they were on track record time up until the last quarter when they staggered home in 30, but they're still rated 157.4 for 2200. And the one thing with him though, his best form has always been on speed on the fence, so the draw hurts, but if he gets out to just any further than the $15, he's well worth a saver. So he's into a C1 to 2, and if you ever look at the horses he's chasing home, like Laredo Torpedo, Secluded Beach, No Apache Me, Laredo Torpedo, all of them would be $1.20 minimum in this race. Probably overs $1.20. So probably just go shopping for a bit of value in this race. Just small each way bets on both on full tilt and he's the one. The fourth, interesting race. Obviously, Laredo Torpedo's charging through the grades here in Tassie. Buster Williams first up, trialled okay. Monarch Mac probably holds the key to the race. As you'd imagine, it's got the speed to lead. If it holds up, if Buster Williams led, you'd give him a good chance of beating Laredo, but just with no confidence in the speed map, you're also loath to jump into the shorts. And if it does lead, it brings Rockin' and Runnin' right into play too, drawn to trail. And the other horse here, Jacqueline's just having zero luck with barriers. Races best on speed, and races just have a map for him. He hasn't been able to get on up outside the lead or even lead, and obviously in this race here, you won't be able to push forward. As no way Laredo hands up the death or Buster type of thing, so he'll wait another day, Jacqueline. So but anyway, that's that. The fifth, we've already thrown out Mr. Lennox. The sixth, mares race, Milana Beach back to the mile. If she happened to lead, she's definitely the one to beat. But just not sure. Nicky's Logic did lead, finished tailed off, but did hold the front first up in Tassie last week. So not sure if they'll change tactics here. Little Bit of Big didn't have much luck last week when the run chopped out in the straight. Obviously Ready to Fire is the one with the best exposed form, but she's never one to take short odds about her. She's probably that price to score up. And over the mile, you just can't afford to give, even if she misses it 15 metres, it's over a mile, it's magnified greater. Forced to recommend a bet. Mavis Merle, $8 3.10. Back 1-2 only, but she's a good sit sprinter. If the pole holds up, they might go mad. She's never far away anyway, so just, don't get overly involved, but you do far worse than back her, say a 1x2 basis. The seventh, pretty moderate lot here without sounding too disparaging, but I think it's summed up by Safari Sunshine's almost a top tip, and she's a 50 start maiden. So you can't go tipping those. But McAdam, the very similar form lines actually. So McAdam and Safari Sunshine, better than Fedar. Form reads well on paper, just that the jury's out for mine just on how strong the 2-year-old form was last year. Trials haven't been too bad though, so just couldn't jump in until you see what the 2-year-old form does stand up like. And Nick's pick wasn't too bad last time. Led, handed up, was picking up the favourite late, so, and Hashtag finally had support first up and was pretty average, but was obviously showing something. But forced to pick one, the 50 start maiden Safari Sunshine. She just goes the one speed all day, and it isn't quick, but it might just be one of these type of races. So, and the trot, all over the stars since joining Rowan Hilly has just been stamped itself as the best trotter in the state. I think it's just Redder Sun had its chance to beat it last time and got beaten on its merits by about 5 or 6 metres. All the way May's one who's getting back in a bit better at the handicaps, so may improve a tad. And 10K is just a model of consistency with its manners, but favourite should be winning that, with barring any issues with manners. So, just confirming then, the best bet is in the C7 or better race 5 in the form of Mr. Lennox. I think about 250 is his price, so anything over that is pretty good shopping. Do have a saver, Jack's Command, and the best value was spot 8, especially if you get anywhere near that $21. Won't be too pretty, as I mentioned, he's very one pace, but very well graded, and definitely have a small win saver on I Am Awesome. So anyway guys, I might just keep it short and sharp this time. So as I said, I won't be around on the night, where I generally like to throw out what I deem to be value at the, when they're about to jump, what prices seem are still value. But so anyway, I'll leave you with that. So don't go overboard. It's pretty sort of tough meeting to sort out, but I think we could do far worse than get involved in those 2 races I mentioned. But anyway, thanks again.